Namaste, yogis, and welcome to this short pranayama to restore the health and vitality of the lungs. We will work with a specific mudra to facilitate the full yogic breathing, which means using the full capacity of the lungs as we breathe. And I will offer you a mudra that will help this pranayam, this breath work. And we will then move to two breathing techniques that have proven very effective and very successful in the treatment of respiratory syndromes, including what we're dealing with right now. So we begin, as always, by finding a seat and taking a moment to drop in. I like to close the eyes every time I get onto my mat as a way of turning my attention inward and shutting out the noises, the sights, the stimuli that are consistently being fed to us through the five senses. Take a moment to find your natural breath and just follow its movement up and down the spine. Feel the earth underneath you, the sky above you, the space and the air element all around you. And simply notice the effect this is having on the mind. And I invite you also to set an intention for this practice. The intention could be simply to stay open to receive the deep wisdom of these ancient teachings, which are proving more relevant now than ever. And then blink your eyes open very slowly. Just take a moment to allow the eyes and the sense of sight to get used to your surroundings. And take a moment to notice any shifts. And we move to our mudra now. And it's a beautiful mudra that is called Purna Svara. And word Purna in Sanskrit means full. and Spara means breath. So the name of this mudra simply translates to full yogic breath, which is an ancient technique that invites you to use the three portions of the lungs. But today we will work with two different techniques whilst we hold this mudra, as it is really the best hand gesture to tap into the different sections of our lungs. We have a bottom section, we have a middle section, and we have an upper section. And most of us only use one section of the lungs. That's the default way we all breathe. And this is, of course, very limiting, as just for the brain, it means that we're not using the full potentiality of what we are, and we are simply sticking with one way of doing things. And yoga is pretty much an invitation to revolutionize the way we see ourselves and the way we show up in the world. For this mudra, take both hands out in front of you and bring the tip of the little finger into the root of the thumb. So tip of the little finger into the root of the thumb, and then bring the index finger into the middle of the thumb, roughly between the second and third digit. And lastly, connect the middle finger with the tip of the thumb. So I will go through this mudra again. Palms out and up. Tip of the little finger into the root of the thumb. Tip of the index finger into the middle of the thumb, roughly, and connect the tip of the thumb where the tip of the middle finger, extend the index finger out, and rest the shape wherever is comfortable. And as always, just take a moment to feel into any sensations and feelings or thought forms that this gesture is awakening in you. And so this beautiful mudra Purnasvara allows us to use the full capacity of the breath thanks to the positioning of the fingers. The tip of the little finger touching the root of the thumb corresponds to the lower section of our lungs. And so this hand gesture taps into that particular meridian and allows us to activate the very base of our lungs. The ring finger is allowing us to tap into the middle section of the lungs. And lastly, the middle finger allows us to open up and connect and breathe into the upper section of the lungs. And the first technique that we will work with is called Rechaka, and is quite simply inhaling to the count of 3 and exhaling to the count of 4. So it is a longer exhalation, and Rechaka in Sanskrit means exhalations. And I will offer you the count inhaling for 3 and exhaling to the count of 4. But if that, for whatever reason, does not work, you shorten the count. And you could do inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 3. You could even do inhaling for 1 and exhaling for 2. So we will do 10 rounds. I invite you to hold the mudra. If you get tired, release it for a moment and then get back into it, as the positioning of the hands is absolutely crucial for this technique. And so we begin. The breathing is done all through the nose. Ensure that your spine is upright and visualize a ruby red grounding cord coming through the crown of the head and rooting you down into the earth and allowing you to stay upright. And we begin inhaling to the count of 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling super slowly for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Two more times like that. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Complete 3 more rounds on your own. Blink your eyes open. If they're closed, and again take a moment to notice any shifts. And you can release the mudra, open and close the fingers. And we move now to the second technique, which is known as a Brahmary. And Brahmary is the Indian black bee. And this technique is also known as the humming breath. And we've used it many times. And I have only recently discovered, when I was researching the most useful pranayams for strengthening the lungs, but also to speed up recovery from any respiratory syndrome that we might have gone through. And I recently discovered through an incredible Indian doctor that has carried out a number of studies that humming this particular technique increases the expression and the production of nitrogen oxide, which is a gas that was very successfully used for the treatment of the first SARS virus, which is almost identical to the one that is going around now. And it has been proven scientifically that nitrogen oxide can restore the health of the lungs. It reduced hypertension of the lungs, and it reduced hypoxia, which is a lack of oxygen that we experience when we are not capable of breathing properly. And so it was discovered through a number of studies that the increased production of nitrogen oxide is incredibly beneficial for for the lungs, both to strengthen, both to make them more resilient, but also to help them come back to health. And the humming breath acts like a sonic cleanser, allowing us to eliminate infection of the respiratory tract. And so I really invite you to dive into this technique, which is also an incredible technique to stop any obsessive cycle of thinking. We are being bombarded 24/7 by conflicting news, by very fear-inducing information. It is important to reclaim sovereignty of our own mind, and quite literally shut out the noise. And lastly, this particular technique is incredibly helpful for migraines. And so I will invite you to gently close the ears enough so that you can still hear me. I will not close my ears as I'm wearing AirPods, and hum as best you can until there is no air left in the lungs. So the technique works like this. We inhale through the nose, we block off the ears, and we hum all the air out of the lungs. And the humming you can use a different pitch. I use different pitches. For example, the first time I might hum very sort of with a high tone, with a low tone, excuse me. So it might be like that. And then I might change it up, and I might make it really high. So play with it, and as always, trust the guidance that you're receiving as you practice with these techniques, which are old, very old, and incredibly effective. And we can begin the practice from now. And again, we will do 10 breaths. The recommendation is to do the practice for 3 to 5 minutes. The longer, the better. There's absolutely no limit. You cannot overdo it. So I encourage you to incorporate it in your practice, especially if you are exposed to a highly contaminated environment, or simply if you are recovering from any respiratory syndromes or just disease. So we begin. Again, find a tall spine. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and begin to hum. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears. Inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, block off the ears. Inhale. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and hum. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and hum. So continue to hum until there is no air left in the lungs. Keep it going. And when you feel the urge to inhale, you inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and hum. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and hum. Three more times. Inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Block off the ears and hum. Last time, inhale. block of the ears and hum. Come back to your normal breathing. And as always, just observe the effects on mind, body, and soul of these techniques. Blink your eyes open. You're very welcome to follow this up with a few minutes of meditation. You will have noticed your mind has become very quiet. So you laid out the perfect conditions for a few moments of quiet and stillness. And bring the hands in a prayer in front of the heart. Thank yourself for practicing. Bow the head to the heart. Namaste.